Right, hi everyone. I thought I'd show you all how I do the glove moulds. So I've got my little Vampus, my new Vampus Baby. So I've already mixed the part A and B of the dragon skin, as you can see in there. Just mixed half and half of that just for the first coat. So I'm going to put a bit of colouring in it just so that I know where I'll be with the next layer. So if we just mix that in, it'll give us a bit of different colours from the next ones, you see. Just put a bit more in just to give it that bit more of the depth. It doesn't matter what colour that you use, just so that you can see where you're at with the different layers when it's going on, because you'll need a good few layers of it. So you can see that I've just put a bit of yellow in so that we know where it's going. So just clear up a bit around here. Right, so it doesn't matter which brush you're using, you can use any. I tend to use a little one at the beginning just so that I can get into everywhere. I've just put this on a bit of monster clay at the bottom just so it can, just so it'll hold itself up. So there, we just, I don't know if you can see that or not. And just really spread it all around and just get it onto a base because it'll steady it more then onto the base there. Now dragon skin cures quite quick, so I tend to just slap it all on. What I'll do, I'll stop the video now while I just get all this on, and I'll when I start it again you'll see that the whole of it's finished. You don't need to be watching all this. Okay, so there you see I've done the first layer. There weren't as much colour in it as I'd like, but I don't know if you can see that. You can see I've done the first layer. So now on to the second one. I've done exactly the same again with part A and B. So I'll just mix these together again. Make sure they're thoroughly mixed. And I'll put a different colour in this time. And a bit more so I can see where it is. It's actually moving. Just use something to hold it up. There we go. Right. Make sure you mix your paints up before you put them in. So a bit of a darker colour there so I know where I'm going. You don't have to put the colour in, but it does help to see where you've missed putting the silicone in. I've actually fast cured this. Some people don't like to to do it, but I do. It just speeds up the process, otherwise you're waiting a while for it to cure. Right, so we'll just go straight in again and start putting this on. Start with the head. Now you have to make sure you get right into the little cracks with the first coat, so you pick all the fine details out. The next coats, obviously make sure you have gone into the details still, but as the more coats you put on, obviously they should have all been filled in by coats 1 and 2, so we'll just make sure we get all this in. Right, so what I'll do all the coats, and then come back and show you the finished mould before I take the sculpt out. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so as you can see now, I'm on the 3rd layer with the red. I'm just making sure all of the areas are covered. Any drips like this you can cut off later, otherwise it causes, well, it can cause a bubble in it. I don't know if you can see. So I've just started putting it on the head. I did have an issue with this body. Whatever you do, don't use monster clay when you're trying to hold your sculpt up to mould it. I forgot, because I fast cure, I forgot that monster clay melts when you heat it up. So don't use monster clay. So I'll probably give this another 2 coats, just to make sure that everywhere is covered, and so that it's thick enough that it'll obviously hold the silicone when we go to pour. So this is nearly done. I'm having to be quite quick because it's quite warm today, so it's curing quicker than normal. Right, so I'll finish the other coats. I know I did say that last time, but I just wanted to show you about the drips, that you can cut them off when they've cured, and also to tell you not to use monster clay to hold it up. Right, okay, I'll be back soon. Right, so there's the finished layers. I've done 6 layers in total, which seems to be sufficient enough. Sometimes you need more. So what I've done, scalpel knife, cut that off the base. So there we go. We've got the mould separate. Now what you need to do is turn it that way up and see if there's anywhere that needs filling. On this, the shoulders needed filling, so that's what I've done. If you can see there, I needed to fill those in. I just did it in clear, so I could see whether there was any more holes. And I think, oh no, there was some underneath the head or around the chin areas that needed doing. Just make sure you get right underneath, because there's drips. There was a hole there, so I was able to go back through it. So there you can see I've had to fill all that in. Now for the body, you saw I actually did a thicker piece. It has got a spine as this, so I could go off it. I did a thicker piece, and that was where I've cut down. I've used my scalpel and I've cut down the seam. So you can see there how thick the mould is. So I cut right down the back of it. So this is the upsetting part with the taking the sculpt out, because unfortunately it will, majority of the time it will break your sculpt. So as you can see, it has broke. So just be careful of going through the glove mould. In fact, if I show you the head first, I think the head will come out better. Oops, so you can see there, it is stretchy, so you can, sometimes you might have to make a seam down the back of the head. It does take a bit to get it out. Might have to make a seam down. Let's just try, and you just need to separate all the mouth from inside it, because this has got fangs, so it goes actually inside the head, so the mouth will be open. It will come with some force. There we go. So the head has actually come out all intact, and as you can see, there's all his mouth. So obviously you turn that back the other way, and that's where you pour your silicone in. Okay, so there's your glove mould for him. So if we just turn it back the other way, you'll be able to see again if there are any holes, which this seems to be all there. Yep, you can actually see it's even gone into the little ears there. You see, so there we go.